squeeze it, bitch. We squeeze it, bitch. We squeeze it, bitch. We squeeze it, bitch. We squeeze it, bitch. GameStop is squeezing. GameStop is squeezing.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good whatever freaking time it is for you folks. Looks like we're going to have not only a pretty freaking crazy month, week, but also individual day. Unless you guys have been sleeping under a rock this entire weekend, you probably already know that GameStop is going haywire. It is currently up 71% in pre-market action. Closed out the week at 23, currently trading just a hair under 40. And I want to explain the entire situation. I want to let you guys know kind of qualitatively what's going on, the story, why is it happening now. I want to jump into the numbers of, okay, like what can we actually realistically expect, what are we looking at with the short interest, and then from there I kind of want to share my own thoughts and opinions on the best way to handle this. This is obviously a very, very fortunate opportunity if you're on the right side of it. So I just want to talk about how to basically not completely fumble this play. Folks, if you haven't already, it would be a great help for me if you guys could destroy the like button. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. We're going to be getting into it. Do you still think AMC will run too? No. Not really. I mean, I think all this stuff will have a slight upswing, but do I think that this is like something that has legs for AMC? No, I think it's going to be a flash in the pan. And also with a flash in the pan, you can make money. Like in individual days, we can see stuff go crazy. And if you're on the right side of it, you can like make legitimate money. But do I think this somehow translates into AMC like doing well in the medium to long term? No. That's much more of a leadership thing. I have 5 GME June 7th calls. Be careful. We're going to get into it, but buying out of the money, once again, out of the money, there's a good chance of volatility crush. And I guess we could get into some of the specifics of that. But remember, if you want to play options, buying calls is not the only way to show a bullish directional opinion. You could also do things such as selling puts. And that's just like one of many examples, but simply buying out of the money calls or even buying out of the money puts, right now you're paying too much. The premium is absurdly juiced. So straight up buying out of the money calls, straight up buying out of the money puts. I'm talking about this in terms of the world of options, not specifically directional bias. There are better ways to do this type of stuff. So we could get into that. More than happy to answer any and all of your questions. Obviously, there's a couple other things we should get into besides the insanity that is Keith Gill, Deep F and Value, and GameStop, and just going insane. Obviously, we're going to cover that. NVIDIA is looking really good. The overall market, beautiful recovery. And then we have some insane updates related to what is going down with the fight between Trump and Biden and Dana White and the UFC and TikTok and all the money being donated. There is a lot to cover. So yes, obviously, we're going to be talking about GameStop. Obviously, we're going to be talking about the other individual stocks that are rippity-skippity-doo-dah right now. We're talking about the overall market. We have some breaking political news. and there's a lot in between. Just so you guys know, I just want to put this out there right now. I'm going to have to stop the stream a little bit early today. Instead of going to 11, we're going to go to about 10:45. So if all of a sudden I'm like just on a hot one and I'm screaming, ranting, raving, and we're all making money, I would ask you guys to kindly remind me to stop the stream at 10:45 because I need to go on to a Yahoo interview at 11. So obviously, I hope you guys come to the Yahoo interview, but please, please, please don't forget to remind me that I need to kind of kill this thing. Kitty will be $500 million at market open. He's definitely going to have quite the position. I was doing some research on this. He is the second largest individual holder of GameStop. It goes Ryan Cohen, Keith Go. And in terms of just overall ownership, he's the fifth largest owner. And that's counting things like BlackRock, Vanguard. So in terms of all ownership, he's the fifth. And in terms of individuals, he is the second largest owner. I want to get into some of the specifics of what his position is because it's composed of two main parts. It's the individual stock, but then he also has options that expire this month. So at a certain point, he's going to have to unload those or exercise those. But then does he have the money to exercise those? There's going to be a lot going on. So I want to get everyone prepped up. I hope you had a phenomenal weekend. I hope you got to enjoy the sun, got some sun rays, got some vitamin D, got some good Texas Roadhouse, which another stock that hit another all-time high. So much going on. You're so negative on AMC. Didn't you preach AMC runs with GME for years? Yeah, it used to. The technical analyst, you must not be that good of an analyst to realize that markets change, but it's all right. That's why you're here. That's why we're here to teach you. But odd name for someone who doesn't realize that markets are a forever changing organism. At one point, they were very clearly traded as a basket. And even now you're seeing some sort of a sympathy reaction. The last time I checked, AMC was up, AMC up 24%. So yeah, there is basket trading. There are many, many mechanisms that are going to be treating these individual equities as a grouping and just going to be buying and selling them together. But obviously, similar to what we saw in 2021, why was there a bigger percentage movement to the upside with GameStop? It's because you can't fake the real thing. GME was the OG meme play. GME is the thing that started all of this. Without GME, there would have never been an AMC. There would never have been like any of those. I mean, there was like the whole list for like a while there. I mean, there's even a decent argument that maybe Doge and Shiba would have never gotten to the levels they did. That one's a little bit tough just because it's a whole different class. Obviously, it's crypto. But please understand, in the world of equities, specifically equities, GameStop is the play that started this all. That doesn't mean you can't make money in other plays, but don't somehow contort it in your mind that these are all at equal levels. Like literally GameStop, Keith Gill, Roaring Kitty, Deep F and Value. The 2021 January saga is all on the back of GameStop. Now, other ones had great opportunity as well, and that's what you're seeing right now. There's still great opportunity. But the biggest thing that I'm going to attempt to instill in everyone's mind today is this is an active trade. This is not an investment. There are countless people that I've run into on the social internet webs here related to this play that they got in for it as an active trade, and then all of a sudden it didn't do what they wanted. So they transformed it to an investment. Do not do that. If you want to play to the upside, great. If you want to play to the downside, great. If you want to play GME, if you want to play the other related equities, I don't really care. I'm just saying you're being presented with a great opportunity right now as an active trade. This is not all of a sudden because something is running and ripping. That doesn't make it an investment. If anything, it makes it a less ideal investment because you already missed the boat. It already moved 20, 30, 40%. This is an active trade. You can make money to the upside. You can make money to the downside. If you're very skillful, you're going to be able to make money going both ways. So that's all I want to preach you is this idea of we're buying in and we're never going to sell. That's stupid. Why are you doing it? If you're thinking to yourself, I'm never going to sell, why are you in this to begin with? You're in this ideally to make money. And if you're never selling, that means you never realize actually your gain. So what is the point? You're what, just going to buy it and hold it forever? Because if you are going to buy it and hold it forever, then why are you even paying attention? It doesn't matter. If you're never going to sell it, why do you even care about the charts? Why would you even care about this? You care about this because you're up money, because you know you want to make money. So treat it exactly like that. Treat it as, okay, it's an active trade. What are my levels? What's my risk? What's my reward? Balance it out that way. So we're going to get much more into the details, but these people of, I'm just going to buy it and diamond hand it and like, I don't care what happens. They're so full of shit. They're so incredibly full of shit. You can make money to the upside. This gravity is going to win out. Fundamentals are going to win out. This is not going to stay. The way squeezes work, it never works by something ripping up and then staying at that new level. They rip up and then they come down. It just looks like a mountain, the chart. It just rips up and then dumps. You can make money in both ways. Don't be the person who gets in, rides it all the way up, you mess up, and then have to ride it all the way down and lose all of your gains. Don't do that. Play one side, play both sides. I don't care, but just don't be stupid about it, because already there's too many people like, I'm going to hold it forever no matter what. No matter what, brother. It's like, dude, why? That's so silly. It's so incredibly silly. But obviously, we have a lot to chit chat about. So with all that being said, let's get rocking today. So the SPY, very strong recovery. SPY ripping, dumped early Friday, strong recovery into the close. Similar thing with the NASDAQ. And then right here, you have GameStop currently up 70%. And then AMC once again reacting as a just sympathy play. But even if you look at the daily charts, and I'll do this in a little bit, GameStop has retained much more of its value from the whole saga than AMC has. AMC, remember, on a share split adjusted basis, this is trading at 50 cents. At one point, it was all the way up to 72. So even though AMC's up quite a bit in this morning, as in if you got in on Friday, great, you're up 20%. That's awesome. That's a great return. But GME on a share adjusted basis, I mean, what's that? Roughly 160 with an all-time high of 500. So like they're just completely different. AMC's best ever was 72, and that's now equivalent to 53 cents. GameStop was in the realm of 500, currently at 160. So even though they're both down from their absurd peaks, AMC's down in excess of 99.5% or whatever it is. While GameStop, it's down, but like it's just far, far less. So just want to share that. Once again, we're seeing many, many things between the price movement, the social media interest, and even all the way down to the leadership team and the perspective of like where these companies can go. GME and AMC, yes, there are some overlapping similarities, but there's also some very, very glaring differences. And if you're in this for like the true whatever, just craziness and FOMO and that stuff, I mean, obviously it goes without saying that GME has like much better opportunity. That doesn't mean it's a guaranteed opportunity, but comparing the two, there's a lot more pros in the GME column than there is in the AMC column, but we'll come back to all of that. All right. S&P 500 futures edge higher to start the month. I want to remind everyone from a seasonal perspective, and I covered this in more detail in yesterday's like kind of specialty Sunday stream. June, it is a bit of a choppy month. The start of it is bullish, then it's a bit bearish, then it goes a bit bullish, and then into the end of the month, there's more of a strong bearish wave. But at the end of June to the end of July, that full 1 month period, it greatly, greatly, greatly favors the bulls. All right, so here's the big news of the day. GameStop shares surge 70% after Roaring Kitty trader posts account showing $116 million position. I'm going to show you the position. I'm going to explain what it means. We're going to dive into the quantitative and qualitative details, and then I'm going to be sharing all my thoughts. But before we get to that, a couple important things to talk about. So on the geopolitical scale, obviously we have our own election and craziness happening here in the U.S. this November. Don't forget to register to vote. But anyway, they're actually in Mexico is a new president. It's their first female president, so that's cool. That's some exciting stuff. Mexico elects Claudia Sheinbaum as the country's first ever female president. So I don't know, do we have anyone in Mexico right now watching? I didn't even know they had their election this year or with us or anything like that. Matt, the one thing that I don't understand that you're failing to mention, that AMC has debt and a lot of shorts were betting that AMC was going bankrupt, and it's not. It's the opposite. Jake, are you stupid? Are you dumb? Do you realize that they're paying over $300 million a year in their debt interest? The stock is down 99%. What do you mean that it's the opposite? The stock is down 99%. What are you? What? Dude, they have $4 billion worth of debt. The box office is weakening. Their leader is one of the dumbest people walking the planet right now. What? Dude, I feel for you. I hope you're a good person, but like, oh my God, you're just burning money. You're like, you would have literally been better off lighting money on fire. Oh, you poor soul. I hope you don't have kids, because I just feel bad that you're wasting their money. That's so sad. Outside of the world of Mexico, India stocks hit record rupee gains as polls predict Modi win. Modi. I hope I'm saying it right, but it sounds like it's an election year in many different countries. So just a couple things to pay attention to. But bringing it back to the U.S., crazy stuff is going on. So we know last week Trump convicted of 34 felons in the whole Stormy Daniels hush money case, and since then, a couple things have transpired. So right away, just on it, there was this big uprising and a lot of people started donating money. Then Trump ended up going to Newark UFC with Dana White, the whole like fighting thing, UFC 302. And there he received a warm welcome. And apparently people started donating money like no other. The Trump campaign has received $200 million in total donations since the guilty verdict in New York. 200 million. 200 million in less than a week. And a large portion of it is actually, I guess, what just happened there? Referred to as like smaller donations. Did this just freak out?
This might be a little inside information, but as I was leaving my house about 37 seconds ago, I asked my wife, what are we up to now? And she said, just in terms of small dollar, we're well over $70 million. This is $21 donations, $43 donations, right? Small dollar donations. If you add the large dollar donations to it, you're over $200 million, but you're over $70 million. And by the way, Maria, wow, 30% of those people have never been seen before by a political party,
crazy.
Right? I mean, these are Americans who are pissed off. They're coming out of the woodwork, and they want to support a guy that they just believe is getting bamboozled by a system. And we saw it with impeachment 1. We saw it with impeachment 2. We see it where they weaponize every liberal DA and AG across the country with one intent, to take him down, to slander him, to ruin his reputation, to try and divide his family, to try and bankrupt him, to throw him in jail, to do whatever the hell they can do. And America sees through it. They know exactly what's going on. This might be a little...
All right, so right there, interesting to see the split of money. So once again, just to clarify, 200 million in total, 70 million for quote unquote smaller denomination donations, and then an extra 130 when you consider the large guys. But 200 million in less than a week, that is a lot of dinero, mi amigo. But coming back to what I alluded to a little bit ago, not just the money, but we're seeing a big shift, especially specifically in social media. So I do have the numbers actually right now. Basically, Trump, when he went to UFC, he actually made a TikTok. And at that point, it was 1.4 million followers. It's now up to 2.3, while Biden is around like 338 at the point. So 338, he's been having this for a while, while Trump, I guess, on the back of whatever, Sean Strickland, maybe a little bit of Dustin Poirier, maybe a little bit of Dana White, maybe he was even talking with Khabib. The whole UFC event was very, very interesting. But for whatever reason, the former president decided to drop his TikTok at that point, and it went absolutely haywire. Also, just because we're talking about it and we're going to get into the world of squeezes and not squeezes and this and that, I'm very, very confused at the data that Ortex is showing for DJT, because not long ago, the short interest was 75%. You can see that it jumped up here, was right in the realm of 70s, and then it quickly came right back down. I have a feeling that this is one of two issues, maybe both combined. I'm not 100% sure. But as you're going to notice, it's still on the threshold list. For those of you who don't know what the threshold list is, it means there's, on a ratio basis, a large amount of FTDs fails to deliver, and they've been persistent, as in not being taken care of. So that might have an impact. It also might have an impact with just like all the paperwork and whatnot related to the official de-SPACing. Because remember, DJT was DWAC, the Digital World Acquisition Corp. So it came to the public market via a SPAC deal. So potentially in just who gets what and the deals and who has what equity, there's either confusion there could be confusion with the threshold list, or it could also be the combo of the two. But anyway, just sharing this with you, not long ago it was at 70%. The stock is now at 10.5. But then with that being said, the stock itself is actually higher than it was at that point. So it's all a little bit confusing, doesn't really add up. The math isn't mathin', if you will. But anyway, the cost to borrow 350%, sky high, and the utilization almost maxed out, clocking in at 96. Speaking of individual stocks, yes, we're still in earnings season. I know it feels like it's over. Technically, it's still happening. But anyway, after the market closes today, GitLab tomorrow, Bath and Body Works, then we have CrowdStrike. Later on this week, we have Dollar Tree, we have Lululemon, we have ChargePoint, we have Five Below, Victoria's Secret. On Thursday, for the EV players, there's Neo. You also have DocuSign. Like I said, technically earnings season is still happening, but in terms of these companies that are mega, like relative to the market cap and the S&P 500 and they're waiting, we're kind of done. So just wanted to share this. Feel free to go to @eWhispers on Twitter or just screenshot this. It's also in the newsletter. So just want to share that with you. Other news related to individual companies before we really get into the meat of things. Boeing and NASA canceled the Starliner launch rescheduled for Sunday after failed Saturday takeoff. So just want to let you know there, Boeing, NASA, that type of stuff. AMD announces new AI chips amid intensifying competition with NVIDIA and Intel. So obviously, semiconductors have been the darling subsector, led truly by NVIDIA, which is already having another phenomenal morning. Wow, we're having some weird loading issues. But anyway, NVIDIA already up another 3.4% in pre-market trading. NVIDIA closing out at 1,096, currently trading at 1,133. So with that, just wanted to put on your radar. Now remember, these semiconductors, that's just a fancy way to say all these processing chips, which are important to all forms of technology. NVIDIA is very much the golden child, but below that, you have some very other highly competitive companies. AMD's one. Intel's one, Micron one's, Broadcom's one. So if you like this sector and you're like, I don't really want to figure out the fundamentals of this company, that company, don't forget that there's an ETF, SMH. The ETF's ticker symbol is SMH, and that is the ETF that just tracks the whole sector. So if you're a person, you're like, you know what, I get where this is going. I like the tech, blah, blah, blah. But you don't want to pick the individual company. SMH, the VanEck Semiconductor ETF, is going to be tracking what's happening in the semiconductor world as a whole. So I just wanted to put that on everyone's radar. If you're like, you know what, like I don't know how to pick between company A, B, C, or D, that type of a thing, this might be something that's a little bit easier. So just wanted to throw that out there. I also want to remind you, obviously, it is the start of a new month, which means whenever you have the first Friday of a new month, you're going to get the unemployment report, which is obviously going to be a very impactful market moving event. That comes out this Friday, an hour before the market opens. So I just want to put that on your radar. I also want to put on your radar that next week, we're going to have the results of the next FOMC meeting. It's going to be June 12th. Don't forget that. The meeting starts on Tuesday, ends on Wednesday, all of next week. So that's going to be really impactful just for people who are maybe swinging a position. And then obviously this Friday is going to be impactful. So I just want to put that on everyone's radar if you're planning on swinging a play over the next like 1, 2, 3 weeks, that type of a deal. With respect to today, we're going to get some PMI numbers and we're going to get some ISM numbers. Tomorrow, we're going to get some JOLTS information. Just want to put that out there. I also want to remind everyone, obviously, with the newsletter, macros.locals.com, this will come to your email inbox every single weekend. It is 100% free. Don't forget to sign up. My mods will drop it into chat right now so you can get there. But anyway, today, it's leaning bullish. So what you're seeing right here on the screen, this is the equity curve that is hypothetically what you would experience if you bought at open and sold at close on the S&P 500 futures market for this individual day, the day we're living right now over the past 25 years. So your equity curve, so basically it's the theoretical trade of one trade per year on this individual day, kind of trending up, kind of trending down, kind of more so trending up. The bulls have won this a high percentage of the time. It's just that when the bears win it, they're winning it with greater size. So that's why the equity curve maybe doesn't really match exactly what you would think with the bullish win percentage. But anyway, what I want to bring to your attention is how absurdly bullish tomorrow is. How insanely bullish tomorrow is. Over the past 25 years, the bulls have won tomorrow 80% of the time. 4 out of 5 years, the bulls win tomorrow with one of the highest profit factors I've ever seen, 14.5. In all reality, tomorrow is one of the singular strongest, most bullish days of the overall market of the entire year. Now, is any of this information like guaranteed? No, I'm telling you 80%. So obviously there's still a percentage chance that it doesn't work out. But generally when it comes to the market, most things are going to be a 50-50 split. So when you see that much of an edge, an extra 30% edge, obviously it's something that's noteworthy. So I just wanted to let you know right now that today's kind of bullish. And then tomorrow, Tuesday, June the 4th, it's absurdly bullish, absurdly bullish. All right. Now with all that being said, this is what happened. For those of you who want to know what in the world is going on with GameStop, I want to get into the nitty gritty from a qualitative perspective, from a quantitative perspective, and then I want to share my thoughts because right now, folks, what you are being presented with is an absolute gift. And I need you to listen up because there are too many people who I've seen on the interwebs trying to trade this who have gone up big money and they somehow fumbled it all. You are being given an opportunity, and I pray for any of you listening to this right now, do not mess this up. I am begging you to not mess this up. If you've been sleeping under a rock, maybe you don't know that GameStop is up quite a bit today, and it's all because of the guy who started this all back in 2021. Well, he started even earlier, but it really got traction in early 2021. He's a trader by the name of Keith Gill. Now, a lot of people know him on some forms of social media as Roaring Kitty, and then people on Reddit know him as Deep Effing Value. Well, anyway, before the market opened, June 2nd, he let the world know what's going on with his position. It's on the screen right now. You can see with GameStop, his share ownership is 5 million. This one individual guy owns 5 million shares. On top of that, he owns 120,000 call options that are a $20 strike, and they expire the June monthlies, June 21st. June 21st, strike price of $20. He has 120,000 of those, and then he has 5 million shares. That's a big deal. Now, to help illustrate why that's such a big deal, well, all of a sudden, if you look at the current ownership of GME, you're going to realize, counting individuals and also big companies such as Vanguard and BlackRock, he's actually the 5th largest owner in the entire world of this stock. I'm comparing this to BlackRock, to Vanguard, to State Street. He is the 5th largest owner of GameStop in the entire world. That's insane. And when you're not counting those big companies, when you're just counting individuals, he's number 2, behind Ryan Cohen, who's literally running GameStop. He's the 2nd largest individual owner of the company right now and the 5th overall. That is absolutely ridiculous. Now, obviously, because of the lore of Keith Gill, Deep Effing Value, Roaring Kitty, whatever you want to call him, because of what's happened in the past and because of the generic populist disdain for Wall Street, this announcement, what we saw from Keith and his position, I mean, we're talking $210 million as of the weekend, as in he's probably now up about $300 to $400 million. That's ridiculous. So obviously with all this, things went haywire. GameStop shares double as Gill post shows $116 million bet. Now, please understand, that's just the shares. They're not counting all the calls, which is about another, 60, 70 million. But all this is going to be elevated as soon as the market really gets going. This was just as we closed basically on Friday. GameStop shares surged 80% after Roaring Kitty Trader posts account showing $116 million position. Once again, just to reiterate, the 116, that's just the shares. It's not counting the additional right now about 60 million. But if you do the quick math, because right now, as we're filming this, the market isn't open yet, he's up about 300 to 400 million. But obviously, a lot can change depending on how this day actually plays out. Breaking, GameStop's shares soar over 80% as Roaring Kitty announces that he has bought $65 million of call options and $116 million worth of stock. He's currently up $300 million. The stock has now added $5 billion to market cap. Do you understand how influential you are as an individual person just to post your position and a stock gains $5 billion worth of value? Depending on how this does or doesn't play out today, this week, and really all the way up to the call expiration, he, as an individual, could easily become a billionaire. That's all exciting. There's a ton going on, and it's just insane. This is costing shorts a lot of money. As Roaring Kitty reveals, he has $5 million shares of GME, the second largest individual holder after Ryan Cohen, the fifth largest holder overall. The stock is up in excess of 70%. This has generated losses for short sellers around $1 billion in a singular day. In one day, shorts have lost already. Not even a full day. The market's not even open. In one overnight pre-market session, the shorts have lost $1 billion. And one that a lot of people are pointing out is Citron Research, who a couple weeks ago, he said that they have re-shorted GameStop. Now, if you know anything about the history of Citron and GameStop, when all this happened back in 2021, they tried to short GameStop then and ended up having to pull the ripcord when they were down 100% on the position. They tried it again a couple weeks ago, and then already they're very, very underwater. Will they be able to withstand this one? I have absolutely no clue. I have no idea, but we do know that they re-shorted it, and obviously they're feeling quite a bit of pain. Now, I do want to give you the numbers. As of market close of really the final week of May, last week, Friday, the short interest was 19%. The cost to borrow pretty low at 3.5, and the utilization was 55. Now, what does all this mean? It means that there's decently high short interest, but I want to remind everyone, relative to 2021, the short interest was actually 100% higher. It was around 120%. The cost to borrow was also sky high, and the utilization was maxed out closer to 100. So what does this mean right now? This means that, yes, there is shorts in the system. There are people betting against this stock, but it also means that people who want to start betting now, well, the cost to borrow is low and the utilization is not maxed out, which means that new shorts are easily accessible. Will people choose to short it? I mean, I think you have to be kind of a crazy person to bet against it at this point, just knowing how this is all played out, and people love to steamroll the shorts, but I'm just saying that you could. Now, with all of that being said, I want to share a couple thoughts on the overall situation. I have lived through this saga multiple times. The highs, the lows, the additional highs, the additional lows. I have lived through all of this from 2021 all the way up to now, so I want to share some thoughts. This is not an investment at all. I have witnessed people make money, and the commonality between all the people who crush the situations like this are the people who treat it like an active trade. They come up with some sort of directional bias, and I say that because you could make money being a bull or being a bear in this situation. It depends on your timing, but whatever your directional bias is, the people who commonly make money are the people who are quick to react. They ride the trend, and as long as the trend is intact, they make the money. And if the trend is gone, they take their money off the table and they say, peace, thank you, it's been fun, and they move on with their life. Do not be someone else's exit liquidity. I know that there's a ton of people who are commonly preaching stupid things like, no matter what happens, I'm never selling. If that's truly your mindset, why are you in this? You're in this to make money. Be honest with yourself. You're a greedy little trader. That's the point of being in the market, is to ideally be financially better off. You're not in this to be like, nope, I bought it and I'm not selling no matter what. What's the point of that? That's not going to help your bills. That's not going to help anyone in your life. That's not going to help you or your family or anything. You can't pay bills by simply just holding something. And also, simply holding something does not cause upward or downward pressure. That only happens when you're actively trading. There's too many people who you buy in and you're like, you know what? I love it. I'm just going to hold it. I'm going to diamond hand it. You don't know what you're talking about. Those are the exact same people who have been holding other people's bags for the past couple years now. This is an opportunity for active traders. I wholeheartedly believe you can make a mountain of money to the upside and to the downside if you're an active trader. Be quick on your toes. However you want to define it, if you think the trend is intact, stay in the trade. If you think the trend's over, take your money and go. all these people are so stupidly pitching things like, I'm going to hold no matter what, never getting out. Then why are you in this? Why all of a sudden are people going from active traders, they don't like what's happening, then they switch over to becoming what? A long-term investor? As in, there's no way any person who truly knows about fundamental analysis, especially when you're considering capital efficiency within the market, that you think this is one of the best opportunities for investment. No, it's a phenomenal trade. Remember, trading and investing are two wildly different sports that happen to be played out on the same field. Do not conflate the two. This is a phenomenal active trade. You can make money to the upside. You can make money to the downside. Play whatever you want. I really don't care. But this idea that you're somehow now like indentured to holding forever, it's so stupid. That is the perfect way to lose money on this. Why in the world would you ever be granted such a great opportunity just to fumble it when we already have the playbook of how this is played out in the past? The active traders, I understand that some of you watching this right now, you're going to get mad, you're going to get angry at me. I'm telling you this. The people who are going to make money are the people who ride the trend. And as soon as the trend is over, they say, thank you so much. They take their money and they move on to the next one. Do not be someone else's exit liquidity. Do not do that. And right now, we know a lot of people are because they're drinking too much of the Kool-Aid. They're into too much of the cult. And it's sad because there's a lot of people who probably don't understand what's going on that specifically need the money. They're going to get the money. And then for whatever reason, their mindset is going to be so contorted that they're not going to be able to man up and take the money off the table. And it is sad. We've seen this over and over and over again. There are many people watching this probably right now who are going to be someone else's exit liquidity, even though you had all of this money in your hand. It was yours for the taking, and people are just going to fumble it. It honestly breaks my heart as much as I could preach this right now. And I hope at least one of you understands and can internalize what I am saying right now. But if you're just like, you know what, I'm going to buy it, I'm going to hold it forever, that's just stupid. It honestly is idiotic because that is not anything that's going to benefit your life or your family's life. You being astute, understanding how this has played out in the past to optimize how to handle the current situation, because yes, you are being faced with a phenomenal freaking opportunity to completely just butcher this. It's silly and it's going to happen. And I know a lot of people and the internet's going to be the internet, but please understand, as much as you are virtue signaling to the internet that, oh, you're just holding no matter what, them liking you and hitting the like button and give you your upvotes, that's not actually going to do anything for your life. What's actually going to do something for your life is you taking advantage of this opportunity, making money and truly improving your life, not just be like, I'm home no matter what, just to get likes and upvotes on the internet. That's the most idiotic, stupid thing I could ever possibly think of. As long as the trend is intact, ride the trend. That's true for the upside. That's true for the downside. But to simply just throw in bullish or bearish and just hope it works out, you're honestly just asking to get steamrolled. We'll see how it plays out. I have a strong conviction that I will end up being right on this, but obviously time will tell. All right, let me get rid of all of this. I kind of want to see GameStop's. What are we up? Currently up 70%, trading just below 40. The recent high here, I will mark this out just in case we do get all the way up here today, which is actually very possible. Remember, also just in terms of historical precedents, most of the movement in this stuff is actually not during the market. Please understand that a lot of the movement actually happens to be during extended hours trader, as in between 4 p.m. and 9:30, not between 9:30 and 4. That's where the big movements actually come. So just want to throw that out there to any of you guys. Now, if you have any questions, comments, concerns about what is happening here, feel free to call into the show. You guys can call in right now. The number is 570-209-8435. Once again, that number to call into the show right now, I'll play your voicemail, is 570-209-8435. My mods will drop that in chat. If you want to call in, you can share your thoughts, you can share your opinions, your feelings, you could ask your questions. But I just want to break down what's happening with GameStop, the actual numbers behind it, how it compares and contrasts to what we saw in 2021. And then I also wanted to tell you guys to basically just not be retarded. That would actually be truly heartbreaking for you guys, who I know there's people right now who legitimately need the money that they are up, and just to we're just seeing too many people drink the Kool-Aid. It's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. You're being nice. Just let them get rolled on. No matter what you do, you'll end up being the villain in the end because you have a platform. Maybe. I hope not everyone sees it that way. I want to use my platform to get out legitimate information that is backed by stats and history. Yes, I would have much bigger following. I would be much more liked if I was like, yeah, guys, this is going to work no matter what. We just have to hold and yeah, blah, blah, blah. Like, we're going to take them out. It's easy. It's easy to do that. It's easy to grow a following doing that. Do you know how many people did that with Jimmy? Do you know how many people did that with AMC? To this day, they're still saying, we just got to hold no matter what. We just got to buy and hold, diamond hands. They're fucking stupid. They're nobodies. They're going to be nobodies because they are either so stupid to realize that they don't know what they're saying, or on potentially the worst side, they do know what they're saying and they don't care. So they're actively putting out shit information that is just duping people who are new to the market. Man, it's okay for me to diamond hand though, right? Because the Magic 8 Ball said I'd be a millionaire. Hey, if your Magic 8 Ball is that spot on, I do wish you the best of luck. I really, really do. Could you quickly go over how his June 27 calls impact the position? Does he gain 120,000 shares? So one of two things can happen. He can exercise it because it is in the money, but he would have to have quite a bit of capital to exercise that position, or he could just sell it. If he does sell it and just realizes the profits on the options, that would be really, really, that would force quite a bit of downward pressure on the stock. If Roaring Kitty unloads all of those calls, the market makers who sold him those calls would unhedge their position, because as they sold the calls and as the stock went up, the market makers hedged the calls that they sold to him by buying stock. So if he just sells those calls and closes them out and the open interest drops, well, that would mean that the market makers can unhedge, which would mean them selling a bunch of stock, a lot of stock. And if that happens, obviously that's quite a bit of downward pressure. So it kind of depends on how he chooses to handle it. If he exercises, well, they're already hedged, so there would not really be a net impact. A lot of people think that when you exercise, the market makers then go out and purchase the stock. That's not how it works. They're already hedging based on the current delta. The delta at market open is probably going to be closer to like 80 or 90. So what the nominal value of all those shares, the market makers have probably already hedged 80 or 90% of that, as in they're already been purchased. It's not like the purchasing happens right after expiration. It's happening during. As the stock goes up, they buy more and more and more to hedge. As it goes down, they unhedge. It's literally based on their delta. They're going to hedge their book. So in terms of the direct impact, it depends on what he does. I don't know if he has the capital to exercise all of it. We're going to find out. If he does, kind of a net neutral impact, not really anything going on. If he can't, if he just realizes the gains on that, well, then that would prompt quite a bit of selling pressure, because the market makers would unhedge because they don't want to carry all that extra stock on their book. How are the call options looking? The IV is so high. We're going to know in about 3 minutes, but the IV is going to be juiced. I actually think it's really, really silly to buy out of the money calls or puts at this moment in time. I think right now it's advantageous to sell premium, not to buy premium. So if you are bullish, you might want to consider something like selling a put credit spread. If you are bearish, you might want to consider something like selling a call credit spread. But to buy calls or to buy puts, whether you're bullish or bearish, especially if it's out of the money, you are simply overpaying. The premium is far, far too juiced. It still might work out for you, but please understand, in heightened volatility environments such as this one, you need the stock to move a lot in your favor just to remain at break even, because like right now we know premium is intrinsic value and extrinsic value. Part of extrinsic value is volatility. If you suffer through volatility crush, you need to pick up the slack somewhere else. So right now, statistically, it is very, very disadvantageous to buy out of the money calls or buy out of the money puts. I'm not being biased to the bulls or the bears here. I'm saying buying premium out of the money calls or puts, you're simply overpaying. It might work out for you, but generally when premium is this juice, it's better to sell premium. So if you were bullish, you'd want to sell puts. If you were bearish, you'd want to sell calls. You can express a bullish or bearish opinion via the market you don't have to buy premium. You could sell premium. So with all that being said, the market's about to open. I want to make sure that I'm ready on the day. I do have a lot of my own craziness in the futures market to, I guess, take advantage of here. Actually, is this going to be ripping at open? Where are we at? Where are we at? Let's get ready, folks. We are 30 seconds away. 30 seconds away. What in the world am I doing? What in the world am I doing? All right, am I set up? I think so. Maybe 500 tick. Okay. All right, I'm somewhat ready. Market is showing some serious strength. Obviously, as things get going, we will monitor the short interest. We are going to monitor the options market.
Order submitted.
Hello? What is going on? Well, I messed that up. What did I do? Apparently, I'm already in 2 positions, which I didn't think was supposed to happen. I guess my robot wanted to go long at open. That was a misjudgment. So here's to hoping the market pops in the first minute. That was a little bit awkward, if I'm being completely honest, but let's see how things play out. It's a bold move, Cotton. It's definitely a bold move. All right. A bold move. Uh-oh. All right. Let's see if that ever gets hit. It did. Why did that? I think I might have literally just typed in the wrong time. Well, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. All right. So as we're waiting things to open, remember, we already have a halt. Halt number 1. Oh, here we go. All the questions of halts, and this is market manipulation and blah, blah, blah. I want to be explicitly clear. I think halts are stupid. There's many halts. The halt that GME just had is referred to as a circuit breaker halt. If a stock goes up or down too much, too quickly, in too short of a time, it gets halted. That's referred to as a circuit breaker halt. That's what just happened in GME. GME went down too quickly, so the exchange, this isn't decided by brokerages. This isn't decided by Robinhood. This isn't decided by Webull. This isn't decided by E-Trade or Interactive Brokers or TD. It's not decided by any of them. This is decided by the exchanges. It's a pre-programmed rule. You can look the rules up. The rules are in your face. There are people who put indicators, these bands on their chart to know exactly when halts will or won't happen. It's very easy to know when a halt will occur. This dropped too big of a percentage in too quick of a time. So it's a 5-minute halt. It's called a circuit breaker halt. They happen all the time. Literally on a daily trading basis, you will see halts. There's other types of halts.
Filled.
Uh-oh.
Target filled.
Oh, okay. I ended up making money. Sweet. You're going to, okay, 170 locked in. Nice. That's a good way to start the day. So anyway, no one can trade during a halt. It doesn't matter if you're a bank, a hedge fund, an institution, a market maker, retail. No one can trade. When a stock is halted, the exchange has literally halted it, which means no trades are going through. It doesn't matter at all. It's not a dark pool. It's not institutions. It's no one. No one is trading during a halt. So right here, a lot of people commonly complain that it's stopping bullish momentum. Right here's an example of it stopping bearish momentum. So that's what a halt is. If you want to learn more about it, just look limit up, limit down, LUD, L-U-L-D. You can search limit up, limit down New York Stock Exchange, limit up, limit down the NASDAQ. You can look up whatever you want. The information, I mean, literally, LULD rules. Limit up, limit down. Here, they explain exactly what the rules are, when it happens, when it doesn't happen, how long the halts are. If you want to know anything about it, this isn't a human deciding. It's not like a human's like, oh, this is too much, I need to stop it. This is all pre-programmed rules that exactly follow these rules. So it depends on what type of security you are and then what percentage you move and where, like, blah, blah, blah. There's a host of rules and sometimes they're a bit weird. But anyway, you can look them up. This isn't a surprise to anyone. No individual human is deciding it. It's all actually decided by bots. But anyway, with that being said, I think it's stupid. Why do I think it's stupid? Is because the whole point of these LULD, the limit up, limit down rules, is to stop volatility. They're like, oh, wow, this stock has too much volatility going on. We should probably do something about it. So they halt it. But it actually has, in my opinion, the adverse effect of there's many people out there who they have indicators or they have whatever alerts within their system that says, hey, just so you know, this thing just got it got halted. So it actually ends up bringing more eyeballs to the ticker that's moving crazy, which prompts it to move even more crazy. So I want to explain the limit up, limit down rules. I want to clarify that I think circuit breaker halts are stupid, but it's also not like manipulation that's out to get you, because literally no one is trading during it at all. We probably should look at the heightened. Let me log in. I want to just show you how we know that you should not be buying GameStop calls or puts. If anything, it's going to be better to. Do you see how juiced this is? People are paying it's 421%. You're paying 3x what you should. This is sky freaking high. Do you understand how expensive this is? The IV is off the roof, and this is for the expiration date of this Friday. Everything's too juiced. Like, look at these percentages. Whenever this is true for calls or puts. It doesn't just cut one way, it cuts both ways. Whether you're talking about puts to the downside or calls to the upside or anything in between, you are simply paying way too much money. Way too much money right now. It's crazy that people are going to get tricked into buying this right now. Now, remember, that's not me saying to not be bullish or bearish. That's just saying instead of buying premium, you should probably express your thoughts and opinions on the market via selling premium. Completely different story. But anyway, this got halted at 10:31, so it'll start trading again within this minute. These are 5-minute halts. GME's in the top right of your screen. Yes, this will start trading again. It's just a circuit breaker. All right, what else do we have? AMC's dropping as well, but GME's obviously. Oop, there we go. GME's trading again. If it keeps moving like this, it'll halt again. If it keeps moving, it will halt again. Currently trading at 35. This is crazy. This is absolutely bananas. Let's see. Obviously, it has to push an extreme either to the upside or to the down.
Order submitted. Target filled.
What? Hello? What are we doing here? Gonna be honest. Not 100% sure about this one. If I can be real with you for a second, not 100% sure what's going on this one. I just know it's green. Which, when that happens, do I just want to take the money or do I want to let it ride? I'm going to let you guys decide. Should I take the money right now? It's up about $270, $250. Do I take the money or do I let it ride? You guys get to decide. You this morning are my financial advisors, and I need you to decide quickly because it's moving. It's moving quite a bit right now. Take the money or ride. Take the money or ride. Ride, baby, ride. Take it, ride. Ride it, take it now, take, ride. You guys, what kind of
order filled?
Well, it looked like it locked in there. Well, it made 190. What was the bot looking at that I didn't understand? All right, we're going to see how this one plays out. We're going to see how this one plays out today. GameStop trading again. Okay, cool. Very, very quickly, as we're letting some of this insanity play out this morning, there is something special I need to tell you guys, and that's a shout out to Public. Right now, with the insanity of GameStop, you might be thinking to yourself, where should I buy stock? Where should I buy options? Where should I sell stock? Where should I sell options? Any of that. If you're dealing with stock, if you're dealing with options, Public is your best place to handle the current situation. Why is that? Well, if you're talking about stocks, the answer is because Public does not engage in payment for order flow. Payment for order flow is the really strange concept that players, other brokerages, sell your order flow to market makers. They never go to lit exchanges. Your trades are most likely, if you're trading on some of these retail-focused brokerages, are probably never making it to the New York Stock Exchange. They're probably never making it to the NASDAQ. Gary Gensler himself, the chairman of the SEC, has called this a conflict of interest. Public does not engage in that, does not engage in payment for order flow. That's on the stock side. Now, if you talk about options, it's by far the best place to trade options, in my humble opinion, because it's the only brokerage on this entire planet that I know that you get paid for every options contract you trade. Whether you're buying or selling on both sides, calls or puts, does not matter. You get a rebate for every single options contract you trade. I know of no other brokerage on this entire planet that does that. So Public does not engage in payment for order flow when you're dealing with stocks. You don't want to do that because it's just getting internalized by whatever, Virtu or by Citadel, something like that. If you're trading options, you're going to get paid. There's no commission fees. There's no per contract fees. It is by definition the most cost-effective way to trade options. So if you're thinking to yourself, oh man, like, should I be doing this or that or something else? Public is going to be a phenomenal opportunity for you, a phenomenal choice for all of you. It is pinned to the top of chat. It is in the description of the video. I'm telling you, folks, if you want to avoid payment for order flow, if you don't want your trades internalized by a market maker, if you want to get paid for every time you trade options, no other place does it. This is what you want to be dealing on. You don't want to be dealing with these other client-facing ones because they're making money off of you. Public has time and time and time again showed that they actually care about you, their clients, by avoiding payment for order flow, by giving you rebates when you're trading options. Check it out. It is pinned to the top of chat. It is in the description of the video. I'm very, very confident that you are 100% going to enjoy it. Check it out. And obviously, shout out to Public. What are we doing now? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? The SPY sideways looks like it wants to pop to the upside. This is so expensive. We can watch the options throughout the market on GameStop if you guys want right here. Wow. So to just explain what's going on, the white line is the price line of GME. The teal/green line is the options for this Friday. And then the purple line is the options all put together. Filled. So generally, if it's going to the upside, that's bullish. Generally, if it's going to the downside, that's bearish. So on the bottom here, we have time. On the left side here, we have price, which once again, that's associated with the white line. And then on the right side, you have the notional. Dude, what is happening? We went long again on many positions? Hello? Mom? Why are they all in the red? I don't like to see that. Maybe a little bit of
filled.
A little bit of out of sight, out of mind. Let's see if those take care of themselves.
Target filled.
All right, more green. I like that. I like seeing more green.
Target filled. Filled.
Big fan of that. Green.
Target filled.
Good. Is it going to ever take the money on this? At all? Maybe? Yes, no, maybe so? Yes, no, maybe so? 267. It's up 300. Do I just want to take this? Do I think we're going to keep pumping here? That's the real question. And the real answer to that real question is what is going on with options? What is going on with options?
Target
Dude,
filled.
This is just ripping right now. Ripping. Should I put in the stop loss so I at least don't lose money?
Target filled.
Dude, we are printing money this morning. Printing money this morning. Come on, keep going. Keep going. 266. Where's 266 trying to make its money? Come on, keep going. Keep going. Nope. Uh-oh. 267. All right. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Meant to do 267. Should I just take this money? That's a good chunk of change. 400 buckaroos. It's getting a little bit smacked right now.
Order filled.
All right. It took its money anyway. So 2 live positions. So almost done on the day. Almost done on the day. at least for futures. We do have some craziness still, obviously, to consider with the overall market. GME is trading once again, giving back some of its pre-market gains. I do want to remind everyone that what we've seen historically with GameStop and like AMC and all these other memes, a lot of the movement, not all the time, but a lot of the movement happens in the post-market, pre-market, the extended hour session. So we see a bigger percentage difference between 4 and 9:30 rather than 9:30 to 4. So 9:30 to 4 is the normal quote-unquote cash session. And the extended hours is obviously outside of that. Instead of being from 9:30 a.m. ET to 4 p.m. ET, it's more of 4 p.m. ET all the way up to 9:30. When we see movements in the extended hours trading, that's where we see a lot more stuff going on. A lot more stuff going on. Whoa, SPY's taking a bit of a hit there. SPY's taking a bit of a hit. What were the PMI numbers, Profit? The Profit, I should say. What were the... Do we just get the PMI numbers? I feel like this drop that we're seeing in the overall market is... Oh, PMI came in a little bit high. U.S. global manufacturing PMI. So a little bit high. The market, not the biggest fan of that. I think this is just going to be a run-of-the-mill reversion. I think this dip's going to be bought. We could check in on the... Yeah. Even though price dipped, options really didn't dip that bad. I bet this dip is going to be bought. But time will tell. Time will tell. Remember... Oh, there we go. Already coming right back up. I would love to be able to get out of these positions.
Order submitted.
266. Come on. All right. So
Target
these ones
filled.
will lock in at 51 and we're trading at 44. Keep going. If you guys are curious where I'm trading right now, this is the futures market. I'm trading the NASDAQ contract, the NQ contract. Once again, that's for futures. So the way there is
Target
crypto.
filled.
Oh, so that one just locked in. And then we have this one runner. I think this is the last position of the day. Pretty much it. That's it. Everyone else is locked in. 250, 210, 210, 210, 210, 210, 210, 210, 170, 170, 105, 270, 105, 105, 105, 105, 105, 105. You like to see it. You like to see it. And then this is just the final runner of a position, which is not set to break even yet, I don't think. Actually, it is. This one, yeah. So this one, in worst case scenario, would just get out for stop. And if that happens, I'll just turn it all off on the day and I'll just be stoked. And then I'm going to start paying attention to what's happening in the options market. I just like to do a little bit of craziness on futures out market open. Speaking of which, I do need to check. Oh, I did do a scalp trade. Hey, if you guys are in the Discord, I'm sending in my trade. What is today? June 3rd. Yeah, I'm doing a little bit of a scalp play already. A little bit of a scalp play. I'm sending this into the Discord. Downloads. Where is the Discord? Discord. Thick trades. All right. I put that in there. Discord.
Order filled.
Did it get stopped out? It did. All right, cool. That means we are done on the day. Let me just make sure to turn all of this off. Let me make sure to turn, I'm turning everything off. Good. Golden. Green across the board. I think this is all 20 accounts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 accounts. Bada bing, bada boom. Locked it in. I don't want to like over trade or anything like that. So I'm just going to count my lucky stars and call that a day there. In fact, let's save this. Save as Apex. Cool. We're locking that in. Bada bing, bada boom. Shut it down. Don't need to overstay my welcome when you go up that much money that quickly in the day. I mean, we're only 18 minutes into the day, 20 accounts, $200 each. That's roughly $4K. I don't need to do anything stupid. Definitely don't need to do anything stupid. And trust me, especially if you're new to the show, I have a very unique proclivity to doing a lot of stupid stuff on a common basis. So I don't know, just trying to know a little bit more about myself to not do said stupid things. Spies trying to make up its mind. The Qs are a little bit stronger. We're actually seeing a little bit more bullishness right now. And this is once again for GME, top right here, GME. But you see how this purple line's going up? People are getting into some calls, or at least getting out of puts. No, they're buying calls. People are buying calls. That is so crazy right now. That's nuts. And then this right here is the same options breakdown, but it's what's happening for the S&P 500. A little bit flat right now, not really moving too much. GME would not be surprised if it's about to catch a bid because we're seeing some strength in the options market right here. This purple line shooting to the upside. That means people are either buying longer dated calls, selling longer dated puts, or a combination of the two. Generally, when you see that type of bullishness within the derivatives market, specifically the options market, it's not that long till price actually follows suit. So let's just see. Obviously, it could dip on a moment's notice, but let's pay attention. Let's pay attention. Once again, obviously, shout out to Public. Don't forget to check them out. No payment for order flow when you're trading stock, equity, ETFs. And when you're trading options, it's the only brokerage on this planet that will pay you to trade options. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. If you're trading on another retail-facing competitor, you're simply just trading on a worse platform, in my humble opinion. Once again, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. All right, NVIDIA, what's moving? All right, so things were good until about really that report. That report is what screwed it over. That report is definitely what screwed things over. Yeah, options are dipping a little bit on the SPY right now, right here, S&P 500, and then here's a look at GME. GME popped, went flat. Let's see if there's a follow through. SPY taking a bit of a hit, might be going for yesterday's low, or excuse me, Friday's high. There is a downside gap fill to 527.50. There's also this, the market does really, really enjoy hitting the previous close, which would be 527.35. The Qs are taking a pretty steep dive right now. Wow. Pretty steep dive. Pretty freaking steep dive. GME $50 prediction today based off of what? I mean, do you have any like actual, I guess, reasoning behind that, or do you just want it to hit $50 today? Matt, how would you explain the, for me, insane volume on GME? It's just a lot of people are trading. I mean, that's what volume is. It's a lot of people buying and selling. Remember, there's no such thing as like bullish volume or bearish volume. Volume is volume. Every buyer has a seller. Every seller has a buyer. That's how markets work. You can't just have someone buying houses without someone selling them said house, and vice versa. You can't sell a house without someone buying it. So think of GME as kind of like a similar asset. Like for every buyer, there is a seller. For every seller, there is a buyer. For some reason that confuses quite a few people, but that's what it is. It's a lot of people buying and selling. And when you do buy and sell, sometimes one purchase can actually end up adding to the volume a lot, because you could buy it, a high frequency trading HFT could sell it to you, but they could have bought it off someone. And like sometimes you see a lot of trades ping pong and forth between a lot of HFTs. So still you have buying and selling, like simultaneous buying and selling, but it can get ping pong quite a few times with HFTs. Does that make sense? I just want to make sure we're all on the same page of that. There's no time. You cannot have more buying than you can selling. Like the amount of shares bought is the amount of shares sold. And simultaneously, the amount of shares sold is the amount of shares bought. That's how it works. The shares, the asset goes in one direction and the money goes in the other direction. Market makers are the first buyer. Sometimes, I guess I don't know what you're trying to say there. If you're selling on an app like Robinhood or Webull, yes, the market maker is buying it off of you. Market makers are the first buyer. What does that mean? You're just saying something that, what does that mean? Market makers are the first buyer. Market makers are a special type of high frequency trader with special regulatory clarity, this, that, the other thing. But If you're selling stock on an app like Robinhood or Webull, yes, most likely the market maker is the person buying it off of you. It's a process referred to as internalization. What platform do you use for day trading? Public. It's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. I think the confusion is that everyone says apes in the float. So where are all the shares coming from if no one is selling? Well, that's the point, is apes don't own the float. I don't know why people have that in their mind for AMC, but I see people say that a lot. At no point ever have the apes owned the entire float of AMC. That was another misunderstanding of what Adam Aaron was saying, because he intentionally says things in a very vague manner to take advantage of stupid people. They never did. Ever. I'm on Webull. You shouldn't be on Webull. Why are you on Webull? Does a market maker get first right of refusal if they're buying the order flow? That's the whole point of selling order flow, is it's a business agreement between the likes of like Robinhood with Citadel or Webull with Citadel. That's what payment for order flow is. That's in a weird, when you're saying the right of first refusal, all the order flow goes to them. If they want it, they can internalize it. If they don't want it, they can unload it to whoever they want. What about with dark pools? Same thing. A lot of people don't understand dark pools at all. Dark pools just mean the way when you're looking at a level 2 and you can see sitting buy orders and sitting sell orders, dark pools just, they obfuscate the sitting buy orders and the sitting sell orders. It still impacts price. They still get halted. The only difference on dark pools is that you can't see the sitting buy orders or the sitting sell orders. That's it. Webull is great for options, not for stock. No, it's not great for anything. Webull actively engages in payment for order flow across the board. It's a Chinese company. They don't give a shit about you. They have a good looking platform. I'll give them that. They definitely have a good looking platform. But in terms of like actually caring about you, the client, like these retail facing brokerages such as Robinhood or Webull, they don't give a shit about you. Jesus, you're so mean to some people these days. I know you are being a bit silly with the whole diamond hand stuff, but some people are confused and don't know, so no need to be mean. Elliot, don't be a pussy. There's real money on the table. No one likes a little fucking crybaby, especially on the internet. Some people will probably put up with your like somewhat like bitch-like attitude probably in real life because they don't want to be offensive to you. But on the internet, grow up. What the fuck? Oh, you're so mean to people. Real money is on the line. This is a real, actual decision that people have to make. You think I'm going to sugarcoat it because you're like a crybaby bitch about it? Shut up. Leave. Go somewhere else. Fucking cry. Like, this is life, man. This is real money. These are hyper shark-like competitors in the market. And you're like, oh, you're picking on people. It's the fucking market. Literally billions of dollars are currently like inflow. People can have life-changing money. Oh, you're being mean to people. Shut up, dude. You're such a fucking pussy. Dude, what? I cannot believe you said that. Dude, this is obviously I'm not even speaking about this. Obviously the show's not for you. You probably are going to like leave a hate comment and like leave. That's fine. But I'm saying the market's not for you. Like, what kind of participation trophy attitude do you have right now? Like, you're just going to get steamrolled by Wall Street. It is one of the most aggressive, unforgiving environments that we have ever created. And you're like, you're kind of picking on people. Yeah, okay, whatever. I don't fucking care. Like, whatever. I picked on people. Okay, cool. I hope I picked on people and they ended up making better decisions in the market. Do you understand that, like, I'm in no way in this to be, like, liked by you? I want you guys to be better off. I want you to succeed in the market. Why is everyone spamming Berkshire? What's going on with Berkshire. Is it an actual issue or what happened? It has to be a technical. This is either a technical glitch or Warren Buffett died. Those are the two options. This is either a mess up or Warren Buffett passed away. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway just has a drop at 9. Yeah, okay, it's a technical error. It's either that or Buffett's dead. Those are your two options. Looks like it's some sort of technical error. What's a good place to trade on? Literally pinned to the top of chat. It's called public. Giving off finance bro douche vibes right now. No, if I were a finance bro douche, I would say, oh, no, guys, buy it. No, this is great. This is, no, we just got a diamond hit. Like, just going to work. Don't worry. Just buy. We're taking on what? No, it's called being honest. And I guess I would much rather be the person who at the end of this, everyone's like, oh, wait, he actually was not only right, but he continually told us the truth the entire time. Rather than the people who are, oh, whoa, what the fuck is happening today? What is going on right now, dude? Oh, brother, what kind of freaking day are we about to have? Just be honest without being a prick. I'm not, like, that's just how you interpreted it. Like, sorry, like, I don't have to cater to your pansy ass feelings. Just because someone tells you that, like, oh, you're being a prick, that actually doesn't mean, like, maybe there's just a chance that you're being a pussy. Like, that's also, like, a potential outcome here. Don't care. Look at that. It quickly hits the downside gap fill and then rips. That's disgusting. Don't forget the chance that you might just be a pussy. I don't understand this. Did you guys not grow up in the same, like, Call of Duty and Halo 3 chat rooms that I did? I think there's too many people who currently have access to the internet who, like, you just didn't grow up in the same internet world that I did. You really, I think the world would all be much, much better off if everyone had to do the exact same Halo 3 chat rooms that I did. I don't know what's happening now. I just don't get it. There's too many people who are too soft about the whole situation. And I think to be an adult, like at the age of 18, you should have to at least play 1 month in the old school Halo 3 chat rooms. I think that should just be, and look at that. The market came right back down. What is going on today? Volatility is afoot. Wow. What's happening in the options market? So options dumped hard, bounced hard, dumped hard. Here's a look at GameStop. GameStop is currently getting hit in the options market. You can see everything turned at 952. It's getting slaughtered right now. That's going to definitely drag the price down. I shouldn't say definitely. That's a little bit bombastic. There's a high statistical probability that it goes down. Black Ops 2 chat rooms were wild. I just remember it started with Halo 3 and then it got even more unhooked or unchained with World at War, Call of Duty World at War. I honestly don't, there's people in chat right now who I would bet any amount of money could not survive that environment. It went Halo 3 to World at War. That was just the trajectory of it. Rick is on. Where's our boy Rick?
Less inflation may be a good thing.
Get to Rick Santelli. Hey, Rick.
Yes, Carl. Construction spending for the month of April, we're expecting a positive number, but instead of up 0.2, we're getting down 0.1, which follows down 0.2, which means we haven't had a positive number this year. The last positive number was December when it was up nearly 1%. on the ISM manufacturing for May, and these, of course, are following the S&P Global. We're expecting a number below 50, and it remains below 50. Manufacturing at 48.7. That's the weakest since February of this year. If we look at prices paid, last month at 60.9, it was the highest in nearly 2 years. It has backed off a bit from 60.9 down to 57. 57 would be the weakest since March of this year. And, of course, we haven't been below 50 in this read since Dec of last year. And, of course, prices paid, well, less inflation may be a good thing. On the new orders, 45.4, the weakest since May of 23. And finally, the ISM employment. This is particularly important because this week, of course, we have ADP on Wednesday and the big jobs report on Friday. This number is above 50, 51.1. That is the best since August of 22. You see interest rates moving down a bit there. I'm sure that's probably a reaction to prices paid. We'll continue to monitor the long end. Right now, we're down nearly 9 basis points in a 10-year note and about half that in a 2-year note. Sarah, back to you.
And a big drop in the dollar index, the DXY, so on that data as well. Rick, thank you.
Interesting.
Rick
So,
Santelli.
okay,
And
what
Rick
she
mentioned
was just
some of the
referring
highlights
to
of the
right there, that drop in the dollar index right here. You can track the dollar index with the ticker DXY. This is generally very bullish. When the dollar goes down, there's generically an inverse correlation with the overall market. So DXY, the dollar index, as the dollar is losing relative strength to the euro, the yen, the pound, we could get into it, but basically the fundamental argument is when you have companies doing business in those countries, by the time they convert it back to USD, it's a net benefit. But anyway, when the dollar goes down and bonds go up, which is what we're seeing right now, TLT is the 20-year bond. So dollar down, bonds up, that also inherently means that yields are dropping. This is all bullish. That is bullish. Bullish, bullish, bullish. Dollar down, bonds up, yields down. So you have dollar down, yields down, bonds up. That's pretty bullish. I guess we should check in on oil. Even oil's taking a hit. Okay, so this is a bullish development. I know that the SPY's maybe not looking the best right now. I would be very afraid to be bearish in the short term. I'm talking about like day trading right now. I would be very, very hesitant to be a bear. I'd be very hesitant to be a bear right now when we're just seeing like here, dollar vomiting, bonds ripping, yields dropping. Yeah, I would be very, very hesitant to be a bear against the SPY or the Qs at this moment. I get that we see lower highs, lower lows. I'd either be looking for a bullish opportunity, and if I just see it, I wouldn't trade it. I just wouldn't take a bearish bet because on a moment's notice, like we saw right here at 10, when you see those types of pops, like I'm just not going to fight that. It would be silly in my book to fight that. I mean, look at this. Bonds are just moving. GME's getting hit. What do we have here? What do we have here? What do we have here? All right. Get featured on Matt's stream. Call into the show 570-209-8435. Shout out to Chaos. Keeping the show running. Keeping the show tip-top. Tippity-top. Tip-top shape. Tip-top. What do we have going on? Let me go back to GME. I'm just trying to make some decisions on what I want to trade today. Trying to make some decisions. Trying to make some decisions. All right, let's see if that gets hit. The Q's a little bit weaker. Bonds are still going. Options are currently flat. All right, cool. GME's options are getting slaughtered. Here, I'll show you AMC's. Also, did pop like GME, then got slaughtered, now flat. But we're seeing much more movement in the options world for GME than we are for AMC, and they are just getting unloaded. Unloaded. Honestly, this could be Roaring Kitty dumping some of his calls because the green line is the calls for the upcoming expiration, as in this Friday. The orange line is all of them put together, as in not just this Friday, but the next Friday and the next Friday, blah, blah, blah. So we're seeing something going on in the longer dated calls. Someone bought longer dated calls, and now we have longer dated calls just like hemorrhaging. Is it Roaring Kitty? I have no idea. He might be buying more, but if I were him, it makes more sense to be using this craziness as exit liquidity. I would not be surprised if this guy, at market open, he was up about $300 to $400 million. Why would you just not unload? Take your money, even if like by the time it gets hit and volatility and all that, even if he clears 200 million, you pay half of that to taxes. He's up 100 mil. Like he could go. He could literally just like, that is by definition generational wealth. And obviously he's a smart cookie. I don't think he's the kind of guy that would just literally like let generational wealth disappear. RK wants to exercise, not sell. He's not in exit liquidity. He's here for payback. Kevin, where did you get that? Is that what you want to be true, or you're like talking to Roaring Kitty and you're like, no, he told me? What do you mean? Do you know how much money he would have to exercise all of that? He would literally need hundreds of millions of dollars to exercise all of that. No, he's going to exercise. Kevin, you're just making... This is what I'm, I guess, sick and tired of, is like literally just people making shit up. It's pure hopium. Pure hopium. I expect that to be true, but who knows? Oh, so you're literally just like, by your own admission, making shit up. Dude, I don't know why everyone thinks this is such a hold your hand, kumbaya type of a world of like, nah, he's on our side, guys. That's what everyone thought about Ryan Cohen, and then look what he did with Bed Bath & Beyond. He pumped Bed Bath, and then he dumped it on everyone. This is a very much a me is first type of world. These guys are exclusively in this for their own best interest. The quicker you realize that, the less fucked over you're going to be. People who don't think Roaring Kitty is in this 100% for himself are fully so. I don't know what that means, but I think you and I are saying the same thing. GME is far from dead. I'm not saying it's dead. I don't think it's dead. I mean, I think right now the fact that it's up 25% proves it's not dead. But to think that Roaring Kitty is just exclusively in this to be on your side and to make sure you make money, like you gotta get your head out of your ass. Matt, you can't torch someone for acting like they know what Roaring Kitty is thinking and doing, and then act like you know what Roaring Kitty is thinking or doing. How I'm actively saying you cannot predict it. I'm saying he's in this for himself, which is pretty evident, but I have no idea what he's doing, which is exactly why I laid out the two scenarios. I said he could exercise or he could just take his gains. But I've never, ever tried to say, oh, I know what he's doing. No one knows he knows what he's doing. And he might not even know what he's doing. I don't know. The 5-minute breaking down, the 10-minute breaking down. This is for the ES. This is the S&P 500 contract. The 30-minute, obviously trending a bit to the downside, but still holding. The 5-minute, oh man, I really want this market to catch a bid soon. Come on, market, catch a bid. Oop, something's coming back, but someone unloaded some serious size. 7, it's actually not that, like it looks dramatic, but it only went from 7 million down to 3. So there was a swing of 10 million in the delta. That's not, we've seen bigger swings for sure. Talk BRK, we already did it. There's a glitch. There's a data issue. Already way ahead of you, brother. Did it. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. Can you check out IBX short interest? Sure. I just want to clarify. Remember that just because something has short interest does not mean it's going to actually squeeze. It's just a prerequisite of what you need. But there's many other factors. There's no short interest on IBEX. What is IBEX? This is actually one of the lowest short interests we've seen in a while, 1.8%. 1.8%. What is BMO? Oh, another Bank of... Okay, so basically, these aren't real. This is not real. This is a data issue. I'm sure at a certain point, there's going to be a press release of blah, 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 and it's going to come back. It's not like this actually dropped 99%. We're seeing the same thing with Berkshire. Berk A. Berk is the same with Berk B. No, so Berk B is still trading. It's just Berk A. Some sort of data issue down also. They're all down 99.9%. Was BMO shorting GME? No, it's another issue. It's another data issue. You think a bank would be shorting GME? I think you're just being facetious. Are we starting to bounce? I really think we're going to bounce. I don't see how the market can't bounce when the dollar is this weak and bonds are this strong. I don't see how, but hey, that's just one man's opinion. Just one man's opinion. What is today? Is it June 3rd all day? June 3rd all day. All right. If you are in the Discord, I just put it in there right now. Speaking of which, if you're not in the Discord, you should join, being it is free for you to join. I'll make sure it's pinned to the top of chat right now. All right. So I posted my trades in there, and then I also just posted Piper. But folks, pinned to the top of chat right now is, here, I'm pinning it. Is the link to join the Discord. So if you click on the link, it's going to bring you to this website. This is Locals. Locals is the community center where I could send out the newsletter, which you could get for free. It's how you get connected to the Discord. I post Piper. I email you other important stuff. Basically, Locals is the community center, and that's also part of the reason. So basically, when you create your account, which I just want to clarify, make sure the code Goonie is in there. Promo code Goonie, Goonie. Make sure that's in there, so when you subscribe, it'll end up being free for the first month. Double check when you're checking out that it's actually in there. You need that code applied, so the first month is actually free. So just take 3 seconds out of your day to ensure that it's there. When you get in there, it's going to look like this. To get into the Discord, you're going to see this giant Goonie Discord button over here. You could just click on that, or you could go to the second pinned comment, which is all the information. If you have any issues, feel free to reach out to me on Discord. My name is MMK147. You can DM me on Twitter. You can email me, media@MatthewKohrs.com. But all the information's right there. Once again, it is the second pinned comment. The first pinned comment is the newsletter. That's free for everyone. And also, you could just click on this and it'll bring you to the welcome page. But anyway, when you're in there, obviously on Locals, you're always going to get the newsletter for 100% free. That's not just for 1 month. That's always perpetually 100% free. When you sign up for it, you have to be a premium member, aka a supporter, to get access to the Discord. And that's exactly what I'm giving away for free. The answer of why I'm giving it away for free is because basically I just want to put my money where my mouth is and show you that within the first month, you're going to find enough value. So last week, these were all the Piper callouts. So obviously the market was closed on Monday. So Piper signal, which I literally just put in the Discord last week, was right 7 for 8. It went 87% accuracy. At the minimum unit sizing, which you would need $166 in your account, that's the minimum unit sizing to take all these trades, 166, you would have had a return of $26. Once again, obviously you could scale it up however you want. Obviously the SPY and the Qs are very, very liquid. I tend to trade through SPX just because it's European style contract, blah, blah, blah. But there's a ton of lectures in there. So you get my trades, you get the Piper signals, you get other people's trades, there's private lectures, you get the newsletter. Sometimes there's sports gambling, sometimes there's gaming, sometimes we do some giveaways. So that's all in there. It's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. But literally in May, in the month of May, it went 48 for 53 units. And last week, it ended up going 12 for 13 units, which happened to be 7 for 8 trades. Obviously, an 87% accuracy. It's all called out in real time. I share all my trades in real time. People share their trades in real time. The private lectures are arguably the most useful aspect of it, just because every single week, We do some hardcore statistical studies of the market. We do some systematic trading. It's a lot more in the advanced thing. It's instead of, I just want to clarify, do not join this if you're a person who you're like, you know what, I just want to be told what to trade. And it's all these guys who are like, oh, I just have a good feeling about this. And they like YOLO their entire account. That's not this at all. This is much more of realistic of here's the market, here's our Kelly criterion, here's your betting, here are the exact odds. And it's more of a methodical, systematic, mechanical system. That's what we're into. It's more of the idea of how do you survive the marathon that is trading rather than just like going all in on something. If you want to go all in and just want people to give you random ass call outs without any reasoning, I wish you the best of luck. This is just not the trading community for you. Like I do hope you crush it. I just want to be very honest and like forthcoming with all of you that like you're not going to find that there. We care much more about like actually making money in the long term and developing the skill set rather than just like the bullshit that a lot of people are into. So if that sounds like it's up your alley, the first month is free. And the reason I do that is I want to put my money where my mouth is. And I very much believe in the first month, you're going to realize that there's so much value there that you're going to want to stay. And if you don't, if it's not your speed, if it's not for you, okay, no harm, no foul. The first month was free anyway. Just remember to cancel your account. Anyway, that's all pinned to the top of chat. All right. Options are starting to pick up on the SPY, and options actually are starting to pick up on GME once again right here. The puts are flat, but calls are picking up. For the green line is this Friday, and the orange line is actually like all calls put together for every expiration date. So we're seeing a little bit of bullishness return to GME, and it's kind of perfectly associated with this bounce right there. Interesting. What did I do? Where are my positions? June 3rd. Here are my positions. All right, I'm just taking a screenshot. Like I said, I try to be as transparent in real time and forthcoming as I can. Current SPY, current SPX positions. All right, cool. I haven't done any buying of calls or puts on SPY or Qs yet on the day. Generally, I do that, but I just need, I guess, a little bit more bullishness. Like I said, I'm very hesitant to be bearish today, but I'm also at this point a little bit hesitant to be bullish. I kind of want to see this breakout. You see how we vomited right below the EMA cloud, came back up. I was worried that we're going to get smacked there, and as of now, on this attempt, we were smacked. But if we can recover above this previous 10-minute high, that would give me, I guess, some visions of grandeur, if you will. All right, let's do that. So we're setting up some alerts for some potential breakouts. The NASDAQ, a little bit stronger, not breaking down as much as the SPY is. But man, some of the reports this morning definitely had a clear impact. So basically, I would feel much more comfortable in my short-term bullish thesis if the SPY can break above 528.50, and if it does, I would probably buy some calls on the SPY. But I guess I should get ready for that. Public. All right, let me log in. Let me see what I like. Let me get prepped up for this. Let's get prepped up. What is... Man, those are trading at a pretty penny. Why are they so expensive? Oh, well, that's some dinero. We're definitely seeing some volatility return to the system. Some of these things are definitely a bit juiced, if you will. All right, let's hang on very quickly. Look at this. You guys did send in things to react to. You also have the voicemails. 532, 533, 531. Okay. I think I know what I'm going to do. If we get this push and break, Where were some of these other things? Like I said, if you guys have any issues getting connected to the Discord, my Discord name is MMK147. Email me, media@MatthewKohrs.com. DM me on Twitter, Matt_Kohrs. Reach out to Ahmad. We are more than happy to like personally help you get this solved. If you are trying to get connected and it's like right now, it's just not happening. Remember, the database to connect the locals to the Discord updates once a day. But for those of you who are signing up right now today, I'll manually update it in 10 minutes. 10-minute timer. So if you sign up for the Discord in the next 10 minutes, I'll manually update it so you're in today and you don't have to potentially wait till tomorrow or even later to today. So if you're interested in being in it, it is pinned to the top of chat. And when this timer goes off in 9 minutes, I'll manually update it just so you guys can be in lickety-splickety. Do I think this is going to get smacked? Options are now flat on GME. On the SPY, we're just not trending really today. I'm not liking the smack at 528. Are we going to recover from this? You know what? When in Rome. When in Rome. All right, we did that. That's done. Okay, good stuff over there. Where are the reacts that you guys sent in? We'll do some of these reacts and we'll listen to some of the voice calls. Oops. All right, what do we have here? On December 15th, 2021, Nancy Pelosi was asked if Congress should be banned from trading stocks. Her response, no, this is a free market. While serving 37 years in Congress with an annual salary of $223, she increased her net worth to an estimated $245 million. I'm sure there's nothing to see there, folks.
Should members of Congress and their spouses be banned from trading individual stocks while serving in Congress?
No, I don't know to this second one. We have a responsibility to report in the stock on the stock.
Yeah, potentially 90 days later. 5 months. And the fine's 200 review, if they don't.
People aren't reporting, they should be. Because this is a free market and people, we're a free market economy. They should be able to participate in that.
Yeah, but if anyone else used insider information to make money in the market, they would be in jail. And then all of a sudden, our elected officials, they get a free pass? It's baloney. What do we have here? Breaking, Roaring Kitty of GME fame is now worth more than Nancy Pelosi. That's awesome. He deserves it. So there's old Keith Gill. This was back in 2021. Pelosi worth 245, 250 million, about 246 as of this morning. And then Keith Gill, I mean, we saw his posting that as of like he was, dude, he has to be up a big amount. He might be almost double her at this point, which is crazy. This guy received 10 million instead of 100 thanks to a typo. What?
Tinder Singh told police he honestly believed he'd won a cryptocurrency competition when $10 million was suddenly deposited into his girlfriend's bank account.
You regret spending the money?
Yes.
Singh had used Theva Mangari Manavel's account to try buy crypto coins, but because their names didn't match up, the company went to give him a $100 refund. But a Crypto.com employee in Bulgaria accidentally typed Manavel's account number as the amount to be returned and transferred her a total of more than $10.4 million. Singh told Manavel to withdraw the cash, and while Manavel bought houses in Craigieburn and Mickleham, Singh snapped up 2 blocks of land in Sunbury. He also gifted a relative $1 million. It took Crypto.com auditors 7 months to realise the mistake.
7 months?
They alerted the Commonwealth Bank, which asked Manavel to return the money. The mother of 3 refused. She was jailed after trying to flee to Malaysia. Singh could also be going to prison. He has pleaded guilty to a single rolled-up charge of theft, but today the judge raised concerns that he is still very much in denial that he did anything wrong. Singh and Manivel are no longer in a relationship.
I mean, did he do anything wrong? Oh, that's wild. All right, what else did you guys find? What a lucky guy. Hell yeah.
You know, if you look outside, it's kind of a gloomy day. But don't ever let that take away the fact that you get to wake up every day privileged enough to drink Casamigos and take steroids. And knowing this, you guys are still gonna make excuses. Oh, but I have to work a job. No, you don't. What's to stop you from committing credit fraud, getting approved for an Amex, maxing it out, putting it all on black, and quadrupling your money? But I know you guys still won't do it. You'd rather, invest in the S&P 500, make 0.5% return a year. We choose to fuck ourselves over. It's all in the mind. You could choose. Take steroids, become an alcoholic, get rich, or stay average just like everybody else. If you
Not only is that guy my own personal life coach, he's also my financial advisor. He's just spitting facts. Spitting facts. The interview about Taylor Swift is wild.
Travis Kelce, touchdown in Sydney this morning.
I've always loved her, but now I consider myself a diehard Swiftie.
Travis Kelce is the luckiest man on earth. He gets to hit that every night. She's a billionaire. Taylor Swift ain't no two-nickel fuck.
Taylor and Travis taking time out to be tourists.
Travis Kelce is hitting it like this every night, and that ball boy is lucky.
For anyone who's caught Swift fever, Travis Kelce.
How did they play that on TV? So messed up. I'm a professional. Come on.
Savings. I'm 24 and I've got 37 cents in my savings.
Rich.
I'm being honest.
What do you think you are spending a lot of money on at the moment?
I just think it's rent, to be fair. Rent is very expensive. I also like going out here. I'm actually from Germany. I'm overseas. Yeah. But I just think the nightlife here is very expensive as well. Just the cost of living here, to be honest.
Do you want to save for anything in the future?
Yeah, I would love to. I'm like saving right now up for a car.
Savings.
I'm 24 and
she's 37 cents of the way there. Kim Kardashian flew all the way from LA to Paris just because she wanted this one cheesecake from a specific hotel named Hotel Kohrs, and then flew home and you drank from a paper straw to save the world. Good for her, dude. She's crushing it. She's crushing it. All right, 2 minutes left till I update the Discord database. Q's taking a little bit of a hit. The SPY kind of just going sideways. Is it not moving? SPY? Is anyone else's SPY frozen right now? Anyone? Because mine isn't moving. Is this a me thing or is it an everyone thing? I'm seeing no movement. Well, must be. Let's go to the SPX. All right, here we go. Is this one? Okay, this one is moving. So they're basically going to be the same thing anyway. So if you want to know just the general movement of bullish or bearish, you might as well use SPX for this. That's a bit of a bummer there. There's a lot of tech issues today. Someone's going to get fired. It sounds like they still have that person who did the crypto refund, I guess, running the market today. GME's picking up a bit more, and right there, more calls. Actually, calls were just purchased for this Friday. That little spike in the green, that's calls for this Friday. What do we see in the SPY? The SPY dipped, but still kind of sideways. We're having a problem. We're having a problem today. NVIDIA just got smacked. How is the dollar index looking? The dollar index vomited. TLT is up. Dude, why is the SPY not ripping? Why is a lot of data errors lately? Cybertech? Maybe. If it is, would they even really tell us? You think they would tell us the truth? NVIDIA is up 3.7% today. It just does not stop. It really doesn't. All right, 50 seconds till we do that kind of a thing. What else do we have? Is CNBC? New York Stock Exchange technical issue impacting some stock prices, incorrectly showing Berkshire Hathaway down 99%. So apparently there's a tech issue at the actual exchange, the NYSE. The NYSE. Bitcoin billionaire Michael Saylor settles DC tax fraud case for $40 million. I think he has the money to spare. Live, Dr. Anthony Fauci testifies before House Subcommittee on Rona 19. Apparently, he's been caught lying a lot. SPX, not looking the best. I would very much appreciate a recovery. It would make me feel better about my current positions. All right, timer's going off. I hope you signed up in time. And if you didn't, don't worry. I'll make sure to update the database a little bit later today. But for those of you who signed up for locals right now, I am exporting it so you have access to the Discord. You just have to follow the steps on the welcome homepage. Basically, you just have to link your Discord and your locals so we know who is who and what is what. Who is who and what is what. Upload. All right, we did this. That's processed. All right, it'll take about 10, 20 minutes, and then it should be good. I just got to kick off the job. I'm downloading the new Excel file as we speak. Then I got to kick off the job, and then the database should be updated. Easy peasy lemon squeezies. Easy peasy lemon squeezies. All right, I guess we could just watch. Well, it doesn't really matter. I guess maybe more of you are on SPX. I don't really know. But apparently the SPY going for this intraday low. That's a bit of a bummer. Bit of a bummer if you ask me. Come on, Qs. Bring us back around. GME getting a little bit of bullish while in the options market, while the SPY is actually getting a little bit more bearish. All right, just got the new list of people, updating it right now. We did that. I just need to trigger the job, which I'm doing momentarily. All right, cool. The job is running. It should be done in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then if you followed the process accordingly, you should be good. Whoa. So the SPY just took a hit, but what's interesting is options actually just bounced. So even though price is going down right here, we are seeing a bit of a bounce. I'm wondering if this dip's about to be bought, or someone's getting it wrong. Either the price is getting it wrong and that's about to get faded, or these option buyers are going to get it wrong and they're about to get, but someone just bought calls at 10:35 for whatever reason. Someone literally just bought 0 DT calls on the SPY. Let's see how this one plays out. Are we just going for this close value? All right, that's going, that's updating. Good. I think we're kind of, our life is together. We're somehow keeping it together today. Cheers for us. Ooh, SPY getting a little bit smoked there. About to hit this closing value. The SPY's closing value around 5,278. A little bit of a vomit into it. You see how we push down sideways, and then all of a sudden just like a steepening curve. Generally not bullish, but the picture as a whole doesn't make the most sense to me today with the dollar. Huge vomit in the dollar index. I suppose it bounced a little bit, but then also bonds are really strong. Obviously, they stopped their push, but I don't know why the SPY is being this lame today. This lame. Straight up lame. Please talk about Berkshire. Dude, we already have. Now we've talked about it 2 or 3 times. People on the internet are strange. Just because we're on a live stream, not talking about it on the second that you're here, that doesn't mean we didn't talk about it. Strange vibe. Anyone else have a problem with GME and AMC not trading on Fidelity? I don't think anyone else is having that issue. Are you just like spreading lies about it? AMC and GME are both listed on the NASDAQ. The only thing having data issues right now is on... Oh, wait, no. GME is on the New York Stock Exchange. Is AMC on the NASDAQ? So we know that the New York Stock Exchange is having issues, which obviously could impact GME because it's listed on that exchange. Where's AMC listed? I thought this was on the NAS. No, they're both on the New York Stock Exchange. I stand corrected. It's not a Fidelity thing. It's it's the exchange. Remember, your brokerage is your middleman to get you connected to the exchange. So these are both listed on the New York Stock Exchange. That's interesting. I thought they were on the NASDAQ for some reason, but they're not. And we just saw on CNBC that there are New York Stock Exchange issues right here. New York Stock Exchange technical issues impacting some stock prices. It's showing some are down 99%. So those of you who are seeing issues, that could vary. But what's weird is it seems like it's a different type of problem, because if you look at Berk A, it literally stopped trading, and then GME, also listed on the New York Stock Exchange, is still actively trading. So I don't know why there wouldn't be Yahoo. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that in 5 minutes. Thank you. You're the best. Check out, oh my God, everyone's still asking about, folks, I know about Berkshire. It's a data issue. Everyone's reporting it. I don't know what the data issue is. It sounds like someone's going to get fired. It's not actually down 99.97%. I get it. I see it. It's just not real. It's just a data mess up. Did GME cause Berkshire to collapse? Yes, that's what happened. You're 100% spot on. Thank you, Chris. You are 100% spot on. Warren Buffett was like, hey, man, I've never been short in my entire life, but I'm going to be short now. And he shorted GME and blew up, even though there's more money in his cash stockpile than GME is worth multiple times over. That's what happened. Warren Buffett somehow defied the laws of all money and his own trading methodology and went short GME. The data issues that they lost a ton of money and want to cover it up. Exchanges don't have positions. The people who could blow up are the people remember what an exchange is. An exchange is just the place where other people meet to actually do their trades. They don't carry positions. That's market makers, that's hedge funds, that's banks, that's pension funds, that's individual accounts. Exchanges are just the mechanism. It's the market structure of where people meet. They wouldn't be carrying a position. Is the SPY? I don't get how the SPY is not really moving right now to the upside. This vomit from 1030 to 1036 I find to be surprising. It doesn't make sense to me. But who knows? Maybe I'm just wrong. Obviously, a fair thing to consider. I'm going to be watching this trend line like a hawk, because that's what hawks do. Hawks love looking at trend lines. SPY not moving for you on E-Trade? No way. Seriously? Wait. Is there by some weird chance also an issue with the Bank of Montreal? BOM? Wait. Is there also... Wait. Is there an issue with Berkshire A? Berkshire A? Is that... No way. Seriously? Just just a wild conjecture I have going right in here, but are you also seeing that issue? Matt, do you think the issue with some of these stocks is affecting the SPY price? No, because we have the SPX and we have ES. The SPY is the least liquid out of all the things following the S&P 500. The ETF is the SPY, which is actually the SPX is the real one. The SPX is the S&P 500. The SPY is the ETF created to track it, and then ES is the S&P 500. It's its futures contract. I forgot about the Brazilian BDRs. I forgot about that, Lucas. That's funny. What do we have here? Options potentially bottoming out. hopefully for my position bottoming out. Like I said, maybe I was a little bit too aggressive with my bullish position today. Feels like maybe I'm not on the right side of history here. Feels like I'm not, as of now, I'm not on the right side of history. Bitcoin got halted. That could happen. That could happen. Golly, the SPY is just not doing anything that makes sense to me today. But then again, on Friday, it didn't do anything that made sense to me either. So there's also that. GME is going to acquire Berkshire by the end of the day. I mean, at these prices, how could you not buy Berkshire? How could you not buy Berkshire at the end of the day? Multiple New York Stock Exchange NYSE stocks showing volatility trading halt, some down 99%. New York Stock Exchange equities investigating reported technical issue. Oil is crashing so hard that the New York Stock Exchange has had to halt. What's going on with oil? Oil. Where is oil? Where's CL? Yeah, CL got smoked not long ago at 80, dump into 75. Oil's puking right now. That's what happens when the administration releases more oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. All right, folks, thus far it's been a crazy day, and I would bet any amount of money that the remainder of the day is going to be as, if not even more crazy. And to comment on all that craziness, I've been invited to go speak with Yahoo Finance in about 15 minutes, so I need to go and do that. It'll be on their channels. It'll be the live stream. It'll be on their TV show, but I'm going to be on, I think, right around 11 a.m. So I need to drop to go do that. Shout out to Public. If you want to buy stock without engaging in payment for order flow, or if you want to get paid to trade options when you're buying and selling, get a rebate that no one else offers, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Don't forget to sign up for the Discord if you want to trade with me and other awesome people. We have a lot of cool stuff going on in there. We're going to be posting more content later on today and then streaming once again tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. bright and early. I hope to catch you there. But more than that, I hope you kill it in the market. Remember, there's a big difference between an investment and a trade. Do not conflate the two. Trading and investing are wildly different sports that happen to be played on the same field. Please do not conflate the two. If you're in something for an active trade, be in it for an active trade. Don't let it somehow transform into an investment just because it didn't do what you wanted it to do on the trade, and obviously vice versa. Know why you're in the play and stick to whatever your trading strategy, thesis, whatever it is. That's what I have for you right now. I'm going to go do this interview. I hope to catch you guys there. I hope to catch you in the Discord, and if I don't, later content today, and then once again streaming tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. bright and early. That's what I have for you right now. Peace out. Deuces.